G'day, mate.
Good, Connor. How are you?
Good, mate. Good, good. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us tonight.
Sure, my pleasure. So, how was your day so far?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Yeah, we just worked most of the day. The 9 to 5 before we do the fun stuff of an evening.
Wonderful,
It's
wonderful, wonderful.
yeah,
So, so Connor, your third single, Disdain, is to be out on June 7th. So, would you like to
yep.
tell me about the songwriting process and the making of this new single?
Yeah, great. Yeah. So Disdain, basically we started as with most of our writing. It always starts with Damon, so our guitarist, who's actually also my brother. Yeah, so he always brings us ideas and stuff. Like we're sitting on a backlog of about 10 different tracks at the moment that he sent through. And yeah, so it always starts off with him sending it through to us. And then basically what happens after that is Jake, our drummer, he then gets his hands on it and makes it masterful. So basically, with Disdain, that was, I think, about the fifth or sixth track that was sent through to us. Sent through to us a little bit earlier this year. And I remember being there with Jake when we first heard this one, and yeah, both just looked at each other, just being like, "This is, yeah, we got something here." So, yeah, we recorded that one. Pretty soon afterwards, yeah, it was all actually before I go any further, it was actually also the first track that we wrote and recorded with our bass player Aden as well. Prior to that, it was just me, Jake, and Damon. Yeah, and then Aden came along and yeah, obviously gave a new sort of spruce to it and everything. So yeah, we got in and recorded that one, and yeah, look, it's this one's very different to, well, not very different to the other ones. We like to say that it's kind of like the big bad brother of Void of Mind, which was our first track. Yeah, so this one, from a lyrical standpoint, obviously I'm more equipped to speak to that, but yeah, from a lyrical standpoint, it's definitely our darkest track for sure. Sort of dives into my previous experience, whether that be with mental health or with substance abuse, as you could probably tell from the video. Yeah, so I wrote this one. I sat there with a pen and paper one night, and I was so desperately wanting just to sort of up the ante a little bit from the other tracks that we've done. And yeah, as it turns out, trying to up the ante in the lyrical writing often takes you to some deep places. So I wrote this one not only obviously about my experience in the field of in those fields, but also trying to kind of send a message to people that listen to this one, sending that message that that it is okay to not be okay, and things do turn around. If there's one message that I can send to people through this track is, I'm a beacon of, you know basically, that things can turn around. I was only, what, 5, 6 years ago. I was in a really, really bad place in my life. I'd just been, my last band prior to Revenant had fallen apart, and you know, not only did I want nothing to do with music, but I also, wanted really nothing to do with anything. And it was a really dark place for me. And yeah, I obviously managed to claw out of that one. And yeah, it's my experience obviously with the previous life has led to not only obviously being a bigger and a better human, but it's also led me to be able to try and push that message onto people that might also be going through that. And that's specifically what Disdain sort of beacons for, trying to if somebody can relate to the things that I'm saying in this song, yeah, that's my job. That's my job done. You know, we've touched a lot on mental health in our tracks, but I think this one in particular is yeah, it's a cracker.
Beautiful, beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing me to watch the video in advance. Beautiful work behind the video, and the song
Mhm.
itself is totally mind-blowing. Each and every one of you guys in the band did a fantastic work on this single. So thank you for this awesomeness. And if you don't mind, would you like to talk a bit about the making of this video?
Yeah, sweet. So yeah, so we got Alex Nelson. So he runs a um company called Emerge Creative. He's also the singer of a of another metalcore band in Brisbane called Awaken Time. Yeah, so we worked with him on Void as well. And yeah, he's been amazing to us. Now, the story behind this one, essentially the idea for this video, slightly different, but the idea for this video was actually supposed to be for Bleed. Um, but the problem that we kept running into, and that was actually going to be our first track that came out. We looked at releasing Bleed as a video prior to Void of Mind, and basically what ended up keep happening is we'd lock in a date, and given that the video itself was supposed to be shot outside, we actually kept getting rained out. So it was, I think we ended up having to reschedule probably about, I don't even know, it would have been probably 4 or 5 times. And then eventually we just turned around and were like, well, this is pretty much the last opportunity we're going to get to actually do this. Like when the last date for this one. So if we get to the weekend and it's raining, then we'll do Void. If we get to the weekend and it's not raining, then we'll do Bleed. And yeah, it turned out that it was raining that weekend again, so we ended up doing Void. But yeah, after sitting there for a little while, we were kind of we'd started obviously recording and working on Disdain. And yeah, I just took it to the boys where I was like, hey, look, you know, I kind of feel like this track needs a video a lot more than Bleed does. What's your thoughts on doing a video for this one? Now, you know, they were all receptive to it straight away, and yeah, we ended up creating the video for Disdain instead, which, you know, obviously we changed around the ideas and stuff just a little bit to fit the theme of the track a little bit better. And yeah, pretty much we took the idea to Alex, because we knew he was going to do it. And yeah, he ran with it. Like he kept feeding us ideas and stuff and different things that we could do. And yeah, it was really, really great. We got Sam from Aeon Nexus. He's let's say starring in the video. Yeah, she's amazing, and we worked with her on a few different shows. Yeah, so she came out and gave us a hand with that one, and yeah, it's basically the video. The video itself sort of dives into you know, the theatrics. The theatrics obviously stand around, you know, someone who's obviously addicted and someone who's in some fairly dark places and hitting through some mental health. But you know, we got Sam in to act in this one as she's essentially the addiction and the mental health in the form of a human, so to speak. So, you know, you see in the video, like a couple of times, obviously she's like whispering in my ear and handing me the knife and stuff like that. So she's supposed to be, yeah, the human representation of what an addiction looks like, you know, because yeah, it's constantly after you, you know, running after you, whether it's, you know, trying to hand you the knife or, you know, whispering things in your ear. It's constantly sort of after you. So that's pretty much the crux of the video. We and funnily enough, we were supposed to film most of that video outside as well, but lo and behold, it was raining that day as well. So we got a lot of the outdoor shots done, thankfully, before it started to rain. But unfortunately, a lot of the band stuff was also supposed to be outside as well, but then that ended up being inside. But honestly, it turned out even better than we could have imagined it would. You know, between the band shots being great, and obviously all of the theatrics and stuff in it are really cool as well. Funny story, actually, you'll never see the videos quite the same again. So in the end of the video, there's a scene where I'm in the water, so where I'm in the pond sort of thing. Now that pond is absolutely grotesque. And basically, when we were picking the location for this video, Alex had seen that there was a pond around the place, and he straight up said to me, he's like, "You're getting in that," and I'm like, oh, "I don't want to," but what you see later is, so after I jumped in the pond, I'd already, like, literally within a minute or two of getting out of the pond, I started feeling myself like well up, like I started rapping, and you actually see it in the band shots that you can see my face is all red, and you can see it starting to well up and stuff, and I actually reckon it gives a kind of cool effect to the whole thing. But yeah, that's was complete. It was a happy accident in the end. So yeah, it was a fun process. We filmed that out in Tweed Heads, at our friend Christian, who's also the drummer for Snake Mountain. His studio out there, and yeah, it was a great day, and yeah, we've got a great product out of it. There's a lot that wasn't used, but you know, we got an amazing product out of it.
Fantastic, fantastic. And like I said, three singles already, Void of Mind, Bleed Within, and now this plane. And I know this is leading into an EP. So how is the work behind the scene, or do you have a planned release date for the EP?
We don't have a specific date release for the EP yet. We know that it's going to be somewhere around November, because we want to get in obviously before the music industry closes over Christmas time. Basically, yeah. So the process behind this EP at the moment. So again, I'm not 100% sure whether I'm supposed to say this or not, but Disdain is actually going to be the first track that we release from the EP. So yeah, we'll have Disdain will be on the EP, and then we're going to do like a fleshed out little intro part as well for another track on that EP. But yeah, so we've got two more singles coming out over the next couple of months. One, we actually just finished recording vocals on it last night, which was amazing, and it's coming out really, really cool. And then yeah, the other one, it's definitely well in the works at the moment. Yeah, look, it's been a fun process to sort of decide what we wanted to do. You know, whether we wanted to just keep with the singles, or whether we wanted to, you know, do a couple of singles and then, you know, take a bit of time off and yeah, release an EP. But yeah, we ultimately ended up deciding on releasing an EP towards the end of the year, which will have I believe it'll have an extra 3 tracks on it. So yeah, there'll be the 2 singles that we release. Sorry, obviously Disdain, and then the 2 singles we release over the next couple of months, and then yeah, it'll have another 3 tracks on it. And yeah, so the other cool thing that we're doing, so very early on in the piece, obviously having a band name that's spelt a little bit out there, did present some issues initially. Like obviously we had a lot of people being like, so how do you even say your band name? So basically the idea is that we're going to release this EP under the name of the EP will be Revenant, but it's going to be spelt like the whole way out, so with all the vowels and that. So it's self-titled, but not really. Like, it's, you know, self-titled kind of. So yeah, it'll be really great to get that out there, and yeah, some great things coming. I'm super excited, obviously, for Disdain to come out, but then it's yeah, it's exciting to hear what's on the horizon.
Fantastic. And would you like to tell me how it all started as a band last year?
Yeah. So funnily enough, RevNet actually started probably back in about 2020. It kind of really started as me and my brother. Just I'd been out of the industry for a little while, and Damon had never been in a band before. So, we had this idea of, let's start a band, and this will be cool. We'll do this, this, and this, and it never really turned anything other than a couple of cool riffs and an idea until Jake came along. I worked with Jake in my previous band as well, and sorry, mate, I don't know what happened there.
I suddenly lost you for a moment. I did not know why.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so sorry, as I was saying, I was living in Canberra, so we didn't really do much. And then when I moved back to Queensland, we knew that we wanted to do something, and we wanted to sort of hit the ground running. Back in sort of midway through 23, that was when we got in the studio and really started recording. We recorded Void of Mind and Bleed Within initially, and then we'd always wanted to sort of hold off for a little while until we had like a set plan in place as far as what we wanted to do. But it would have been late 23 when me and Jake were at we went to a show at the Burleigh Bazaar, and it was our friends Vola and Inertia. They were playing down there with Wheeler Hollow and a couple of other bands, and we Aden, so our bass player, he's also the bass player for Vola Inertia, and we saw him play, and like Jake had already kind of dabbled in the idea of being like, hey, maybe we should ask Aden. But then I think it was that night that we saw him play, and we are like, yeah, this is the guy. So he just brought this energy and everything to his stage presence, and we were like, yeah, that's the dude. So Revenant's been one of those things that's been a long time in the making. But like I guess at this point, we released Void and Bleed, and Disdain's coming out, and the rest is history.
Yes. And are there any current touring plans for the band?
Nothing in touring. Well, sort of. I mean, we've got a couple of like weekenders where so I've got it written down so I don't forget. So we've got a 2-dayer coming up at the end of June. We're playing at Precinct in Nambour on the Friday night, so it's the 28th of June. We're playing with Awake in Time, Disgust, Mesmic. And then we are going up to Bundaberg on the 29th of June for a show up there with Mesmic. We've got quite a few shows booked in with them. We've got our next show is 22nd of June. We're playing at Rick's Backyard with Sydney band Engraved. They're amazing, and they've been awesome to work with. Then we've got a few different ones actually. We've got 6th of July. We're playing a 10-band bill, Yatla. The boiler room down there. We're playing with Hammers and a heap of other bands. Which, funnily enough, that was one of those gigs that we really just stumbled across. It was Christian, who runs the studio where we shot Disdain. he asked us if we wanted to do it when we were out there doing the video, and like we were obviously like, yeah, 100%. Like being an early stage band, any sort of gig opportunities at this point in time is a good thing. But then when they added us to the group chat and we saw all of these other people that were in like bands that we had talked about, wouldn't it be cool about getting on a show with Disgust, and wouldn't it be cool about getting on a show with Hammers, and yeah, it was a bit surreal. Then we're back in Brisbane on the 19th of July. We're playing Mesmic, their EP launch at Evil Corp, which is I think it's like a horror maze or something that they've turned into a music venue. I've seen photos and stuff out there. It looks sick. But yeah, we're playing with Mesmic and Chariot Parade, which is going to be a sick night. The guys in Mesmic, I've got to give a special shout out to the guys in Mesmic. Like they've really helped us. Dave and Andy, obviously, I've got connections with through my cover band Resurrection, but like Mesmic, they didn't. What is happening? Oh, still there?
Oh, I cannot see you. Your video
I don't know what's going on.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Sorry.
Okay.
The guys in Mesmic, like I've got to give them a shout out because they really helped us. They didn't have to, and they've done wonders for us. So yeah, we're very thankful to them. And then we're playing back in Brisbane again on the 7th of July, 7th of September, sorry, for Rock Based Depression Festival, which is amazing festival, amazing cause. Katie's been a dream to work for, so yeah, we're very thankful to be on that bill. And then we're doing a show down in date to be confirmed at this point, but we're doing a festival down in Grafton towards the end of the year, which funnily enough is actually my hometown. So it's it'll be. We've got a fairly sharing the bill with bands that we'd said, oh, in a year or two we'll get a show. We'll see if we can get a show with them. And yeah, it's been the love from all of these bands has been amazing so far.
Fantastic, fantastic. And being a new band, there should be a lot of dreams and a lot of milestones to achieve. So, do you have some big dreams for the band for the future?
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think I said this in another interview just before, but it's funny to think, every band that starts off, oh, I want to get big and be the next big thing, but we said it right from the word go that we weren't gonna, if we were getting into this for any sort of fame or money or anything like that, then we were getting into it for the wrong reasons. So our goals obviously span as far as we want to continue the momentum that we've gained so far, and continue to pull some shows, potentially pull a tour within the next sort of 12 months. But yeah, like I think the big goal for us in particular is I want to look back on this in 10 years time, still be doing it, and still be having fun with it, because if we're not having fun with it, then why are we doing it? And that's the big thing. It's not always sunshine and rainbows in bands and in the music industry. So it's we've been eternally grateful that everything's been amazing so far, and we want to keep that going. But yeah, look, I think if I'm diving a little more into things that we would very much like to do. Some of our biggest influences sit around the likes of Northlane and Polaris and Architects, Amity, that kind of stuff. So pulling a show with any of them would definitely be a dream come true for the guys in the band. I know one person in particular, Jake, who's the biggest Northlake fan you'll probably ever meet, and if we got on a show with them, I think he'd genuinely be a bit starstruck in that one. But yeah, like I think that's what I mean. We just want to keep releasing music that people are going to enjoy, and keep playing shows that people are going to enjoy. The thing I've been saying to everybody about Revenant, especially when you come and see us live, is from the second we walk onto the stage to the second I'm walking off the stage, we're putting in 110% the entire time, to the point where and this is funnily enough, on our last show, I actually burnt myself out before like the second last song. So I'll get to the end of the last song and I literally just like fell on my knees and I was like, I am so dead. Because that's like I see these bands and stuff that I look up to, and I think, I see the energy that they're putting into everything that they're doing, and the live shows that they've got is so incredible for that exact reason, because you can see that they enjoy what they do. So I think that's the big goal for us, is to keep enjoying what we're doing. If I'm looking at a personal goal, I'd like to work on my cardio a bit more so I don't have to burn out real quick. But it is what it is.
And speaking of songwriting, do you guys have or close to some specific topics, or is just anything random that you'll write?
Yeah, so we dabble a lot in mental health, and that's like in both Void and Bleed so far have both been very heavily on mental health, and obviously the struggles that people go through with mental health. And Distain's no different. Obviously Disdain adds that extra level of diving into addiction and stuff as well, because that's obviously my sort of experience with it all. But yeah, like it's that seems to be the common theme that I'm going for with the writing side of things, and even the tracks, like the next track that we've got coming out in about 6 weeks time. We've it hits a little bit harder as far as try like dabbling into the same sort of topics, but hitting it from different angles. And like we never wanted to be that band that was rinse and repeat. We didn't want to be doing the same thing over and over and over again. We wanted to be a band that was constantly evolving, whether that's lyric writing, whatever that looks like, live shows, all of that. We wanted to be that band that was constantly keeping it fresh. And while yes, we ground ourselves, obviously me being the lyricist, I ground myself obviously in my experiences, and the core elements obviously of things that I've experienced in my life. But there's always something just that little bit different about each track that we put out. And I think that's what makes it special about Revenant, to be honest, is whether it's lyrically or musically, there's something for everybody. I pride myself on being on trying to make sure that each track I can show everything I have, because I feel like I'm sitting in front of some of the best musicians in the world. And like, I genuinely feel that. Like, it's my brother, it still wigs me out to this day that my brother's never had a band before. And like he was a bedroom guitarist until we started this project. And you know Jake, our drummer, he's working on some amazing other projects as well, and then Aden as well. So like everyone that I'm circling myself around with this band is so incredible. So I feel like I've got that thing to live up to. So constantly trying to level up, and always trying to keep it fresh is good. But yeah, like I think always diving back into that to those core elements.
That's fantastic. And do you have any message for the fans and for people who are listening to you for the first time?
Yeah, man. Yeah, look, I think the message I would give to people, in particular, is just if you resonate with what we're saying, or if there's things in the lyrics or things in the music that you like, we feed off that. So we love hearing the feedback, and we love hearing how much you like what we're doing, because it does make it worth it in the end. It makes it all the hard work and stuff that we're putting into this. It makes it genuinely worth it. And you know we are only a start off band at this point in time, but the love has been amazing so far. So my message to the people listening is, just thank you so much for loving it, for taking us on board, and loving what we're doing. It's not going to stop. We love this far too much to even dabble in the idea of this train stopping anytime soon. It's we want to we want to continue not only putting out music for the people, for our listeners, but then also putting out the music that will attract in the new listeners as well. So you know to people that have already heard the name Revenant, or haven't heard our music at all, we love you guys, and we thank you for giving us the time of day. And yeah, look, we can't wait to share this single. This one's a massive one for us, and we're all super proud of it. It's the first track that we've done that's been wholly and solely done in house. So Jake, our drummer, he mixed and mastered this one. So it's a bit of a baby for him, which is amazing. And I'm eternally grateful and happy for how this is all going. And yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. And Connor, I want to thank you so much for giving me today this wonderful opportunity to have you on this interview. And thanks so much for reaching out and letting me listen to your amazing music and totally mind-blowing music that you have done so far. And this day is an epic song and an epic video that you guys are putting out. So thanks so much for all this awesome. And I'm really looking forward for the release of the upcoming EP, and hopefully see you guys on the road sometime soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, thank you so much for having us, man. Honestly, it's yeah, it's truly an honor to be doing this kind of stuff. And yeah, thank you for your kind words on the track. And yeah, looking forward to sharing more with you guys.
Fantastic, Connor. And you have a great evening out there, and take care of yourself, Connor. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, talk to you soon, man. Cheers.
Yes.